Let's start with Shazam.
Oh, God.
I don't deserve these powers, if I'm being honest. Like, what am I even contributing? Ow!
Wait! Before we get started in this film that's in the theaters right now, please hit that subscribe button right at the bottom. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the sequel to the 2019, I believe, Shazam film. And the movie was smart back then. It was fun, and it had a lot of family values. None of that is here in this film.
The family values are here, you know.
It's not strong. It's not strong. You spend more time with the superheroes in this film more than you spend with the family in this film. I did not like this more than Shazam. I did not think that this was a good film for DC, period. And I don't know what the future stands for Shazam after seeing this film.
Right. The weird thing about this film is like a zombie of a film. You know that this film franchise and this film is dead. There are probably going to be no sequels. We're probably not going to move forward. We know that all the cameos mean nothing. We know all the unfinished plot lines will never be resolved. So this is a zombie of a film.
I'm sorry this happened to you.
And when you go in like that, it almost feels a little bit, I guess I can't speak for you, I can't speak for anyone else, but when I went to this movie, it was kind of like watching a funeral or a wake or something. Like,
wow.
Like this movie, we know that this version of DC is not going to continue. It's over. Maybe some little pieces might continue through. There might be some little hints and threads or echoes or whatever from the previous DC to this one. But we know that this franchise is over. And after watching Shazam, I'm like, thank God, because I wasn't feeling this film. Now, I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna be so honest with you. When I watched the first Shazam, I went into that knives out, ready to kill it, and the movie won me over. And it didn't win me over by doing the flash and the whiz bang stuff. It won me over because it was a story about like a kid and his best friend and how they struggled through high school. And when they were presented with this awesome opportunity to be superheroes, they took advantage of it. And then the superhero, because as we know, Shazam looks like an adult, but he's actually Billy Batson, this little kid. The superhero had this like fun, childlike thing going on with him. And it was the charm of that first film that won me over. Yeah. And a lot of that charm is gone, poof, because as you said, we spend most of our time with Shazam and not with Billy Batson.
This movie takes off where we have, the Daughters of Atlas. Basically, they're mad because their father's power has been taken away from them. It's rightfully theirs. And they're trying to get it back. The acting with all of them was stale. Even Helen Mirren.
Oh, she was fun. I don't know. I didn't find anything wrong with her performance.
Pish posh. But Lucy Liu was overboard in this film.
I guess I agree with you that I didn't like the Daughters of Atlas as villains here. But for me, it wasn't necessarily their acting that threw me. It was that you could slot these characters into almost any DC film.
Yes.
And why do that? You know, when we have Spider-Man, right? And his foil, his villain is Dr. Octopus. That's like a villain built,
like a specific.
Yes, built for Spider-Man. We understand why Otto Octavius like hits Peter Parker's heartstrings, and we understand why Dr. Octopus is an interesting foe for Spider-Man because he's more spider-like than Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for these guys, if the three Daughters of Atlas showed up in Wonder Woman, they would fit right in, no problems, right? It would slot perfectly, and that is to me the biggest problem. I don't think the writers know or care about the character of Shazam. I wish we had a villain that spoke to Billy Batson, the boy, not Shazam.
There we go.
Fuck Shazam, right? Speak to Billy Batson, the boy. If you don't do that, you end up with just the villain of the week type of feeling, and they feel it makes them feel generic-y. And we almost had that with one of the Daughters of Atlas because she was a high school student, kind of, I guess. So I'm like, we almost got there, but they attached that character to the sidekick type character. And so anyway, the point is, our villains were boring, and when your villains are stale like this, man, it just kills all the momentum out of the film.
Zachary Levi as Shazam kind of feels like he's overdoing it as Shazam. Because he's supposed to be playing Billy, right? But even the character of Billy doesn't act like the adult version of Shazam.
Right. We've talked about things like this before. Like, I don't know what movie Zachary Levi's in, but I wish we had that one where the little boy was a little more enthusiastic, a little more childlike. But you're totally right. The actor who plays Billy Batson, he's kind of trying to be cool. You know what I mean? He's kind of like, he's trying to be kind of cool, like, you know, maybe like a future heartthrob type of thing, instead of being like an enthusiastic, childlike person. And then when Zachary Levi takes over for the character, he's not cool anymore. He is more childlike. And you're right, that you can feel a divide there between the two actors. I agree with that.
Now, in contrast to that, Megan Good's character, I don't know who the young lady is that plays the younger version of her in this. They like simultaneously is the same person.
Right. And I was thinking about that too. I was like, because I had that exact same thought. You pulled that right out of my brain, dude. But I think it might be because the actress who plays the younger version is very young. And so when she acts childlike, it comes off genuine because she's just being herself, right?
Yeah.
And then when Megan Good tries to be childlike, it works. So I agree. Those two feel much more cohesive. And we were speaking off camera. I was like, thank God for Megan Good. And I never said that before in my life, but thank God for Megan Good. Because not only one, gorgeous, but two, I agree. She did a better job of embodying the little girl.
The movie was just continuing to go from scene to scene of corny jokes that did not land. One of the other kid superheroes, I forgot his name, he cast himself into doing like the doors and going into like this little door chamber thing. I wish they would have explored certain things in that area because that seems like that's more connected to Shazam.
Yeah.
But we have to go with what the movie gives us, and the movie gives us slop.
That's funny. So this is another weird thing. I kind of complained about this in Scream. This movie is supposed to take place in Philadelphia.
Philly.
But this is like the most Atlanta looking film ever. I'm like,
Atlanta, baby.
Not only did I recognize some of these places, but like there's a scene near the end. I know exactly where we are in the city of Atlanta. And because I used to work across the streets, and I'm like, what? That was they filmed that whole thing in my parking spot. Like, so that took me.
Oh yeah, you talking about the parking deck?
Yeah, it took me out of the movie so much. And you could see in one of the shots, you could see the word Atlanta in the background. I'm like, can we do something with this?
I filmed a 3D music video on that parking deck with my band.
It took me out, man. They were like, yeah, we're totally in Philadelphia. And this is
I'm like, no, we know this. It's like, you guys aren't doing a good job with hiding this.
But again, I recognize that might be too specific for me. Maybe if you're not from Atlanta, you've never been to Atlanta, you don't care. Apparently this got spoiled for some people. I didn't watch the trailers because I wasn't interested in this movie. But there's a cameo by a certain superhero. We're gonna spoil it. So
spoil it.
If you haven't seen it, I don't care. We're gonna spoil it.
Spoiler alert.
Wonder Woman comes in. Yep. And the music plays. And like, when I tell you my audience had no reaction, they were like, I was like, woo, no one cared. But she had a cameo for no particular reason. They're like, we need a god to do this. Why? I don't know. But they need a god to do a thing, I guess, to bring back Shazam because he died and now he's back. So not only is the movie a zombie, but Shazam himself is an actual zombie because he's back from the dead. Like,
I thought they were going to be ballsy and killed him. I was like,
me too.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to respect that. I was like, yeah, go ahead, kill that guy because we all know DC's not going to do anything with this, so kill it. Great. Yeah. But then they were like, never mind. So
look at you. Your shoulders just went.
Yeah, I know. But I know I'm bagging on this film, and I'm bagging on it because it's bad, but it's not a colossal failure. The movie's not it's not an absolutely terrible failure. It's just generic-y, and I know it's not going to go anywhere. It's been a rough time for Marvel movies and DC movies and just superhero movies in general lately.
Yeah.
These last few months or weeks, they've been rough. Like, I don't feel like I ever want to watch another superhero movie ever. This stuff is wearing on me.
I feel like that too, man. Like, I respect a studio and I love a studio of A24 so much because they take risks.
Yeah,
yo.
and I think that's a good point because Shazam takes zero risks. Even when they hinted at taking a risk, like, we're gonna kill off the character of Shazam. Never mind. You can't even finish the sentence before they undo it, you know? In this movie, Shazam had the same issue that Ant-Man did, where they'll do things in the film and then at the very end, they'll undo it. They'll just erase it.
Scott, we're gonna just let you die. You sacrifice yourself for your family. No,
Never mind.
No. Come on,
I got you.
Get you out of here.
And in this movie, they're like, we're gonna destroy the house. Boom, the whole house is blown up. Never mind, we put that back together. And it's like, well, why show the scene where they blew up the house? So you're gonna put it back together. Like right at the end, we're gonna kill Shazam. Never mind, he's back. We're gonna take away your powers. Never mind, they're back. So it's like,
Who wants their powers back?
Yeah, exactly. They did things only to undo them again so that everything stays the same. The biggest change, and I am not kidding, the biggest, most profound change that happened in this movie that probably would reverberate to future movies is Djimon Hounsou got a haircut. That's it. He got a haircut. Did I just watch a 2-hour movie about Djimon Hounsou getting a haircut?
and looking like what the kid said, pimping.
Yeah,
when the kid said pimping.
I was like, okay, that's a word choice.
The things that is positive about this is the actor that played Freddie Freeman. I don't know his name. I'm sorry.
He's good. Yeah.
He did a great job.
He was in It.
Yeah, he's freaking awesome in it. So I think he has a great career ahead of him. He keeps on doing films, snap films like this, where they can use his talents. And Shazam as a character, if we don't see him again, okay. We don't see Zachary Levi playing in it, doesn't really matter to me. But if they do bring him back, they have to do a lot. They have to do a lot to fix, you know, what they've messed up in this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give this film a C-.
Damn, exactly what I'm gonna give it. C-, my worst grade. It is perfectly down the center. In a week, I will never remember this film. I won't remember that I even watched it. It's not bad enough to be memorable, not good enough to be memorable, just average enough to get you in and out of the movie. And that's it. So when I was watching the movie, I had my glasses on and I accidentally touched my glasses. Boom, I put like a little smudge in my glasses. And I was like, I can't see the screen. And I was like, I don't care.
Do it. Don't do it. I do it.
So I just left it there. I didn't give a damn. And so that's kind of how I feel about this movie. Not worth your time, not worth watching. Very generic-y. I'm not sure if this is even particularly worth watching on streaming. If I never see Shazam again, I'll be fine. If I never see Wonder Woman again, I'll be fine. If I never see another DC or Marvel movie again, I think I'll be fine.
For real, that's the same way I see things. Do you recommend this?
No, I don't recommend it. I think this is a bad film, but not bad enough to be absolutely terrible, but not good enough for me to recommend it.
I don't recommend this film either. If you want to see the first film, that's fine. I guess.
Watch the first one. It's not bad. It's better than you think. Better than you think.
More importantly, do you recommend this film? Have you seen Shazam: Fury of the Gods? Get in the comments and let us know.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
Thank you for clicking on this video and seeing us talk about this film. If you are new, hey, hit that subscribe button right down there at the bottom. It really would help us out. And if you did like this rating and review, please hit that thumbs up. Or you can hit that thumbs down, whatever you choose. It is your opinion. Just remember one thing, it's mostly wrong. See you guys in another film. Hopefully it is not superhero.